Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Hey, we all like to hang out with our buddies and smoke cigars and play casino games in a fake room. But sometimes the boss gets called away and someone might steal all of his cigars and his gems. Today we're talking about Mafia de Cuba. This is a social deduction game for 6 to 12 players. Plays in about, I'd really say 10 minutes apiece. Interesting game where you're trying to figure out who stole the gems, which team you're on. Social deduction. Let's take a look. In Mafia de Cuba, we have this set up for an 8-player game. One player is going to be the Godfather, essentially the boss, and the rest of the people are going to be, well, you'll see. This is a really cool, unbelievably cool box. It is a cigar box, but under the cigars are gems. And the Godfather got called into the police's office of Cuba, and when he came back, there were things missing. So what happens is at the beginning of the game, so there's 15 gems here. There's also some rolls that are here as well, and you'll play with a different amount of rolls and depending on how many players are playing. This is set up for an 8-player game. Now, here what we have is, the gems and the rolls. The Godfather can pull anywhere from 0 to 5 gems out. Let's say he pulls 3 out, and he puts them in his pocket, and then he passes it to the next player. Now that next player is a special player. He does something special. He can, if he wants to, take one of these rolls and place them in the pouch and take them out of the game because he now knows that roll is not in the game. Then he can do a normal move. Now a normal move for everybody, including that person, after he does that special thing, is he can either take at least 1 gem, or as many as he wants, and put them in his pocket, or he can take one of these rolls and put them in his pocket. So let's say in this case he just didn't, because I want to tell you what all the rolls did. And let's say he just takes a roll and he passes it on. He'll put the box down, he'll pass it to the next player. That player opens it up. Maybe they just grab a bunch of gems and they put them in their pocket. He closes the box, he passes it on. The next player grabs a roll, closes the box, passes it on. The next player sees all this and he's going to grab every gem that's left because he is greedy. Closes the box. The next player comes, grabs the roll, passes the box. The next player comes, grabs the roll. And the last player is going to go here. Now he has a choice. The last player can always just take nothing, and he's a street urchin. We'll talk about that later. Or he can take whatever's there, during normal. So sometimes there might be nothing there sometimes too, and at that point he would take pretty much nothing, and he'd be the street urchin. So the Godfather gets the box back. He looks in there, and he gets very angry, and he starts asking questions to people. At any point in time, he can ask anybody a question. So let's say this is what it was. The Godfather's here, he has this Joker jug. And let's just say, now everyone obviously has these things in their pockets, and this game is played above the table. None of this would be out on the table in a real game. I'm just going to show you if this is how we were seated, and this is who took what, just to show you how the game might work. But all this stuff is obviously hidden in the real game. And the Godfather can start asking anybody questions. Well, let's talk about the roles. The green is the driver. He wins if the person on his right wins. So right now, he wants the Godfather to win. The white tokens are loyal henchmen. They're also trying to get the Godfather to win, because if the Godfather wins by getting all of his gems back, these guys win. So right now, if this guy gets all of his gems back, he's going to win, the driver's going to win because he's to the right of him, and all the loyal henchmen are going to win. This is the FBI agent. He wants to be accused because if he accuses the FBI agent can win by himself. These guys win by having the Godfather give some incorrect guesses and being the one with the most gems. So people are going to go around, they're going to be saying, hey, how many diamonds did you see? How many rolls were there? Because what you're supposed to do is when you're taking the box through and you're looking through things, you're supposed to be sort of counting what's in there and seeing what's in there before you take it, because Godfather's going to start asking people questions and they're going to be trying to narrow down who's lying. So you better remember what was in there. So people start going around, how many were there? Well, I saw 3. No, I saw 5. Well, he must have taken some. And you start going back and forth, and it's all about, pointing to the other person. Now, if for some reason this person accuses this guy and he's wrong, in some games he will have a joker. Some games he'll have none. Some games he'll have 2, depending on the amount of players. The more players, the more apt they'll have a joker. It's basically a bottle of rum. I say, empty your pockets. Well, he empties his pocket. He's a loyal henchman. He made a mistake. He gives this guy a bottle. He's out of the game, but at least the Godfather didn't lose. Now, if the Godfather has no rum left and he says, you empty your pockets, well, the Godfather would have just lost because he has no rum left and he made a wrong guess. At that point, the person who has the most gems would win. The thief would win, which would be this person. Now, also, if he accused this guy, well, he would empty his pockets and this guy would win again. If he tells this guy to empty his pockets and he has no rum left, this guy automatically wins because the FBI agent is always loyal and he gets really mad when you accuse him. So that's pretty much all the roles. Now let's just say there was a street urchin role. This guy took nothing. He left this in the box. This guy is a thief and he wins if any thief wins. So this person really wants these guys to get the gems back. Now if the Godfather says, you empty your pockets, he must take them and empty them out. And the Godfather is trying to get all his gems back. If he says, you empty your pockets, he gets them back. If he gets all them back, then he would win. That's pretty much the whole game. Now there's one variant role with, instead of a white loyal henchman, you take that out and you put the cleaner in. And if the Godfather is pointing to someone to empty his pockets, if the cleaner thinks he's about to lose by picking the FBI agent, he points at him and says, pow. And if this guy is the FBI agent, he gets killed off. And this guy is the lone winner. And so that's pretty much the game. Godfather's trying to get the gems back. The loyal henchmen are trying to help him. The driver has the guy to the right. This guy's trying to get accused. And that's pretty much the entire game. Now, the game itself comes just like with this. I like to add a bunch of just random cubes from other games in here, because what happens is when the gems run out, people can hear that there's nothing swishing around, and we know that gems are gone. So just to make it sound like there's noise in there, I like to add some cubes to the box. All right, there is Mafia de Cuba. I gotta say, I'm a huge fan of social deduction games. I love Resistance Avalon. I love, One Night with a Werewolf, Mayday, Mayday, all those big ones I really, really love a lot. This one holds its own. Just when you think that the market is saturated with these social deduction games, another one comes along that is just a pleasant surprise. And it's like, how can these things keep coming out and not feel the same? It's weird. This one does feel different. I love the box, the artwork, you flip the cigars up, the rolls are there. It's just such a cool thematic thing. I love how you can select your role, because a lot of times in some other games, you just get the role you get, and you just got to deal with it. Where here, you can pick and choose what you want to do. So if you're that person that never wants to lie, just keep the good guy every time. Of course, every once in a while, pull a bad guy just to keep them guessing. But you can be a good guy and try not to lie all day, and then you won't have to lie. So if you don't like to lie in social deduction games, you might want to play this game and just be the Godfather or be one of the good guys there. I like it. It's simple. There's not too many rolls. I mean, it's not like you're pouring 10 rolls onto people. I mean, there's 3 rolls, right? Other than the thief, so maybe 4. But it's very easy. It's easy to catch on to. I've found that this actually is easier to learn for people, for new gamers or people that don't play a lot of games, than some of the other ones that I mentioned. Like One Night with a Werewolf, I love that game, but without playing with just werewolves and villagers, it gets a little overly complex at first. But playing with just those immediate rolls, it's not that interesting. Where this is interesting with just a couple of rolls, and I really like it a lot. So if you're looking for a good twist on a social deduction game that's fun and accessible but still fun with gamers, you'll want to check out Mafia de Cuba. So I will be keeping this in my gaming library, and for that, let's induct it properly into my gaming library by giving it a saxophone serenade.